Hi, John here. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of April 2017. I'm just going to make a video shortly for the Writ Warrant and the names of all the people that I'm accusing here in New Zealand as being criminal in front of the whole world watching, in readiness for the meeting, hui, in Parihaka with the rest of the chiefs from most of the tribes I've been involved with over the last 20 years. And so we'll put all this together. The main theme is the Moriori title here of Moai Crown, the fourth paramount chief. So I'll be going over that, and also the at least there's 10 pages altogether on the Writ Warrant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, about 10 pages altogether. I'll be explaining every page to you in what has happened here in New Zealand, in the fabrication of the history and change of our titles to the land, into the Maori land court, and also in the original native of this country, the origins of British title as opposed to Australian New South Wales title under the Queen Victoria, and our British title under King William IV and this flag. So that's what I'll be explaining to you. Because it's very important to put the history right. He who controls the past controls the future and the present controls the past, and that's the theme of our bringing together the people in the world that are affected by the same native courts that have been fabricated off this model from New Zealand inside the Waitangi Marae King's Bench Native Court. So I'll be running all over that, as well as stamping our authority and control over what the Crown, corporations, private companies can do or cannot do with our land as resources and the people living on it. There's been discrepancies in the Treaty of Waitangi. I'll be going over that as well, and how it was done, how the names were changed, and how the Crown fashioned its own Maori, iwi, tribe, apart from the original tribes. Surnames as well being changed, and names of the Marae's been changed to suit their corporate entities and their private corporations or dead companies that are acting as though they're real humans, and also hiding behind the Crown. No more now that we have Moai Crown Memorial and King William IV Memorial and flag, the only flag in the world from a king, and the last king on earth. That's our title, and also Mohi Manukau Moriori title to this country that's come from Chatham Islands or Reku to New Zealand land. We're putting that right in its right place to the Pacific Islands and to England, to the Westminster, and you'll notice that Ireland is leaving with the Northern Ireland, and Sinn Féin leaving the UK, and also Scotland's thinking of leaving. That'll just leave Britain, England and Wales, the original Wales, and the German England, and us there with this flag to take up the position as the party, the second party to a private contract inside this Admiralty flag with the British Navy and the British military, our partners, legal partners, with the chiefs, the paramount chiefs of this country, are now the commercial landowners, and I'll be explaining that as well. So we're taking this to Parihaka, to Taranaki, to the chiefs there, Te Huirangi Waikereputu. I've known him for a long time, up to 20 years. He is well and truly versed as a professor in Maori studies and also universities, to know what I do and what the Moriori title is, and also his land that had been confiscated as well. You've got Waikato and his land down in Taranaki, the wars from New Plymouth to Plymouth, England, and from Devonport to Devonport, England, and Waitangi, the Navy, British Navy in Kororareka. The first title, 1834, 20th of March, was established the first land sales to Captain James Reedy Clendon from Pomare, Chief Pomare, Paramount, Chief Pomare II, and that's on record. I'll be explaining that as well as the Church of England, St Mary's Church in Tiki Tiki, the first British church in New Zealand on my Wanoa land block, and in Tiki Tiki village, and our urupa or burial ground where our family is. That's where the church is opposite there, set up between that 1831 establishment of that church with my family, the Carr family. Robert the Carr is working with me on this title from the church, credible evidence of who was who on the land at that time of 1831. All the other immigrants that came onto the land after that started in 1837, Queen Victoria reign from King William IV reign, died in 1837 from 1830, and so Queen Victoria, that started up from that year 1837 on the land blocks on the map you'll see, and that's the other title from the church side of Parliament and records keeping of who is on the land, and that tied in with 1834 with the Navy, the British Royal Navy arrival, the first arrival of the British there. The ship Fortitude with Captain Clendon, James Reedy Clendon, left Kororareka and went down to Hicks Bay at the east coast opposite our Awatere Marae. Across the hills, he walked around the East Cape through Te Araroa, Hicks Bay, Te Araroa, left his ship there in Hicks Bay, walked around the East Cape to Tiki Tiki, Rangitukia, and then up to Ruatoria and across to Hiruharama, around that area, Whakawhitira. So Whakawhitira was where the Maori Land Court put the land titles together to seize the lands or acquire the lands there on that map in 1831. Maori Land Court, or a native land court, was no Maoris then. The word Maori came in 1945 and bodged the titles up to make it as if Maori existed in 1831. So that's not right, that's not correct, and that has been altered on the records right through. So we'll get back to you later on today and explain everything on those 10 pages before I put them online with the video to those who I'm accusing. I've got 14 days to respond. I've got an initial 14 days up to the point where we're going across, so that's 14th of April to the 28th of April of intent, and then we'll extend that beyond the 1st of May, our meeting in Parihaka, or that's southeast of New Plymouth, at a place called Pungarehu, east of there, about 3/4 an hour out of New Plymouth, south towards Wanganui, and then towards the mountain from Pungarehu another 15 minutes from there to the marae, the Parihaka Marae, where the hui will be, and I'm hoping to present this case there in a new setup grand jury court, native grand jury trial court in King's Bench Trial Court in Parihaka, the same as we've done in Titi Marae and Waitangi Marae, with Chief Kingi Taurua and Bundy Waitai, Manahi Parapara Mohini, and Jim Tupi Wikotu, and Herewini Karaka, and myself, Hoani Kahaki Wanoa. Okay, so we've set those native courts there and up in Te Hiku Te Ika Marae in Te Hapua, right up north. There, that's the grand jury court there, and also in Waimana, the Waimana Marae there, with Jim Wikotu again, and he's set up in Kuterere Marae, Pariki, the native grand jury King's Bench native court there, and also we're set up in Awatere Marae in Te Araroa, and also the Ohine Waipu Marae in Tiki Tiki, and the Toi Kai Rako Nukutere Marae in Rangitukia. So Rahui Marae in Tiki Tiki, my family, Wanoa family there in that marae as well. So those are just the courts that I've opened up for the record, to put the land titles back to customary out of the Lynn's titles. The customary title will take precedence over the lands we seize, and so I've already made indications through these years of our intentions, plain to see online, and whatever's on Facebook is admissible evidence in the courts. And so if you don't respond to any of what I put on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Google, then it will be used against you in any court setting, and you won't win the case, and it's liable from there on. You have to get your money back from the Crown corporations under Queen Elizabeth II sovereign authority against the Moai Crown King William IV sovereign monarchy, and this flag is live. Okay, that's all I want to say. So with that, I will get back to you later. I've got to head off to the acupuncture and physio clinic shortly, and I'll be back after that to carry on with this. Expecting Jim Tupi, and there's 12 of us going through to Parihaka from Apodiki, Waimana and Rangitukia. Should be about 15 altogether going to Parihaka, and also Willie Pater has checked in with Jim Tupi and myself from up Ngāpuhi with his taumata kaumātua. Have every confidence in myself and Bundy Waitai and Manahi Parapara Mohini and the rest of the chiefs up there. If I missed your name, that's you know who I'm talking about. Herewini Karaka, my good faithful friend up there, and others who are supporting the move to take back our lands with these grand jury courts, and the titles that I'm putting together belong to you with the Moai Crown authority and jurisdiction of Admiralty court martial law as commercial land owners of your land. Have to go through the first piece of land at Rangitukia on the B7 Haho block, and where the waka is, we're seizing everything there, and also the motel in 356 Lodding Point Road, in Hicks Bay. We've already made intentions to seize that property all the way through, and those people in there will be given notice to vacate the property and the land and go back and get their money. I believe their name is there. I've got their name of those people as being Gary and Marija Daziel. You'll have to get your money back from the Crown, and the real estate company who sold the land will be bankrupted. All those real estate companies that are warned not to sell land that was under question with its title as being liable. So they've gone ahead and sold it against what I'm saying, and warned the landowners as well. They'll be liable as well for selling the land without consulting back with us, the original landowners, the commercial landowners now under this flag. Okay, so that's that, in the Marangaro C12 block, Victor Goldsmith, your name is down, as well as the Rangiraro on the B7 block, the Haho B7 block, your name is down. These are all the names you've got to answer. You've got to put a video together to counter-claim what I'm saying on this video so that we can see you, who you are, so we can check your title against the Toi Kairako title and Te Kāki title to that land block, and you must have all those documents on you. They're all here. All the titles to Waitangi, they are here. The Moriori titles to New Zealand, they are here. So you'll have to come up with something better than that. And Bill English, John Key, you're liable, because if you can't come up with anything against these 10 pages that I'm putting on today, then you're in trouble. You're in trouble, because I'm going to use this in the British courts, Admiralty courts, and our native grand jury court, King's Bench grand jury court, on any marae in this country and in any district court to try you in under 30 minutes flat. Because if we advertise your name, you have only 14 days to respond, because you've been warned before. Those who have got their names down more than once before and ignored me and my authority as the Sheriff and Surrogate King William IV to speak for the King, then you're in trouble. Okay? Warned you. The time is up now. So the chiefs, they are the beneficiaries of everything I recover here in this country and any other country. Those native people and their settlers who support them, they are the recipients of anything I recover, split out amongst all those shareholders that are joining the Moai Crown King William Trust. That's where it's all going, versus the Crown Corporation. Moai Crown, to shorten it up, versus Crown Corporations. Okay, Crown Corporations. And the pound note, Moai Crown pound note, or Moai pound note, versus the Rothschild pound note. Okay, that's the instruments that we are using against you. You'll be charged against the value of the Moai pound note as being on a par at the present time with the British pound note, and then we'll take itself, when we open the bank, it'll be on its own valuation, much higher than the Bank of England's pound note, until it's bankrupted out against the Rothschild banks, will be bankrupted against the Moai pound note. Okay, we have the license to do it and the authority to do that. Okay, that's all for now. Must go. See you later. Have a nice day. Bye. See you soon.